It started with the Tuesday morning regulars, the ones who came in every week at 1:47 a.m., always sitting at the same table, always ordering the same thing, except for one table that was always set for someone who wasn't there. At first, I thought it was just a mistake, that the waitress had miscounted or forgotten to clear the table, but as the weeks went by, I noticed that the table was always set for 4 people, with a cup of black coffee, a glass of orange juice, and 2 plates of eggs and bacon, even though no one ever sat there. The orders would come in through the phone, always from the same number, always with the same voice on the other end. A low, gravelly voice that sent shivers down my spine. I tried to brush it off as a prank, but the orders were always so specific, with notes about the type of eggs, the brand of bacon, and the temperature of the coffee. The voice would always ask for table 17, even though we only had 12 tables in the diner. As the nights went by, I started to notice other things, like the way the lights would flicker when the order came in, or the way the air conditioning would kick in, even though it was already cold outside. The orders started to come in more frequently, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, always at 1:47 a.m. I tried to talk to the waitress about it, but she just shrugged it off, saying that it was just a regular customer who liked to order for his friends. But I knew that wasn't true because I had seen the table always set, always empty. One night, I decided to investigate further, to see if I could find out who was behind the orders. I checked the phone records, but the number was always blocked. I asked the other staff members if they knew anything, but they just seemed confused. The receipt had a note on the bottom, a note that read, "They're waiting." I felt a chill run down my spine as I realized that the orders weren't just random. They were a message from someone who was waiting for something or someone. I tried to brush it off, to tell myself it was just a prank, but the words kept echoing in my mind. They're waiting. For what? For who? I didn't know, but I knew I had to find out. I started to pay more attention to the orders, to see if I could find any pattern or clue. The orders always came in at 1:47 a.m., but the voice would sometimes ask for different things, like a side of toast or an extra cup of coffee. It was as if the voice was trying to communicate with me, to send me a message. I started to feel like I was in a game of cat and mouse, where the voice was the cat and I was the mouse. I tried to stay one step ahead, to anticipate the orders, but the voice always seemed to be one step ahead. It wasn't until the night that the voice ordered something different, something that made my blood run cold, that I realized the true extent of the game. The voice ordered a plate of eggs and bacon, but this time, it asked for a side of ketchup, and a note on the receipt that read, "I'm hungry." I felt a wave of fear wash over me as I realized that the voice wasn't just ordering food. It was ordering something else, something that I couldn't even imagine. The orders kept coming, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, always at 1:47 a.m. I tried to ignore them, to pretend that they didn't exist, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, that the voice was waiting for me. I started to vary my routine, to come in at different times, to see if I could catch the voice off guard. But the voice always seemed to know, always seemed to be one step ahead. It wasn't until the night that I decided to confront the voice, to see if I could finally get some answers, that I realized the true horror of the situation. I waited until 1:47 a.m., until the voice came on the phone, and then I answered, my heart pounding in my chest. The voice was calm, cool, and collected, as it always was. It ordered the usual eggs and bacon, but this time it asked for something else, something that made my blood run cold. "I'd like to speak to the cook," it said. I felt a wave of fear wash over me as I realized that the voice knew my name, knew my position, knew everything about me. I tried to stay calm, to play it cool, but my voice was shaking as I replied. "This is the cook," I said. There was a pause that seemed to last forever, and then the voice spoke again. "We've been waiting for you," it said. I felt a chill run down my spine as I realized that I was in grave danger, that the voice was not just a prank, but something much more sinister. I tried to hang up, to get away from the voice, but it was too late. The voice had already said what it needed to say, and I was left with a question that I couldn't shake, a question that still haunts me to this day. What are they waiting for?